I never get sick of that intro. It's hilarious.
I know, right? It's good stuff, man. How you doing today, D. Michael Libercci?
I'm good, Dr. Clendenning, and yourself? How's life?
Life is good, man. Yeah. There's healthy, fewer projects. We still got lots and lots of summer left to play. Fall's right around the corner. My favorite time of year by no stretch, with the notable exception of everything pumpkin. You can keep that stuff. Yeah, fall's my jam, man. I
Okay, missing
love
out.
me some
Pumpkin's
fall.
awesome. Pumpkin's awesome. Listen, I was
In
hitting the road.
moderation. It doesn't have to be pumpkin spice everything. I want my pumpkin spice and my pumpkin pie, and I'm happy.
What the hell else are you gonna sell in like August anyway? So I always gauge summer. As you know, I live in farmland, and I was going hitting with one of my kids earlier today. We had a small gap, and this farm always sells mums. You know, mums right there, those flowers,
Hmm.
colorful flowers. They die out. They're pretty cool. However, like any good business, you start to see mums in July, and it's like, ooh, I feel like the end of summer. And as September gets closer, they get more mature. There's rows of them across the street from this hitting joint. And I was telling my son, I was like, hey, always the sign of end of summer. Whenever they start getting the plastic out, you start seeing the pots because they're all potted.
Hmm.
Why do they do that? I said, like any other good business, buddy, you need to prepare for what's coming up while you're in the thing, man. So it bummed me out a little bit. It's ironic that you said that about fall coming and still some more summer. I mean, there's probably a good 20 days left, right? I mean, still got a good Labor Day's late
Well,
this year, right?
I think there's more. So I'm gonna go on my own personal little tirade of conspiracy at this particular moment. So my feeling of where we are, I don't even know geologically, I suppose is probably the right word. I feel like we're about 1 month off
You said this
overall.
before.
Like over the last few years, I think we're about 1 month off seasonally. Like, because winter's been hanging on a little bit later. I feel like right now we are more in that. I know it's middle of August or end of August when this is going to air, but right now I feel like we're in more of the season of mid July, right? Not that late doldrum stuff. So I feel like from a weather perspective, we've still got a lot of good weather ahead of us, right? I mean, the ski
Yeah.
resorts used to, once upon a time, were all open in Colorado on Thanksgiving. Right now, you're lucky if they're open by Christmas. So there's an indicator. Ice on the lakes. I mean, just all the different things, and even our personal garden harvests and the things that we're doing. We're not harvesting. We're at least 2 or 3 weeks behind, if not a full month of when we should be. Like we should have been historically digging potatoes like 3 weeks ago, and we're not ready to do it yet. They're not ready. They're just not ready. So I feel like the weather, for whatever reason, right? It just feels like that. So I may be making that up completely, and that's all right. Just to say that we've got way more than 20 days of summer. I'm going to say we have 50. I'm going to do kind of a little Groundhog Day thing for you. I'm going to predict 50 more days of summer at the particular piece of this. Now the kids are going to be pissed because they're all back in school. We still get to go outside and do the stuff. So, but hey, bummer for you guys. Awesome, go back to school. If I could go back to school and hang out all day with my buddies and just do that kind of stuff in the AC and play some football, and that sounds great. That's a great place to
Well,
be. So I'm excited for you guys.
well, I'm already getting the night schedule, and I like having my kids home because they train so much that it's nice being able to get it all knocked out and still have the rest of the day. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm like 3:30. It's like a second sprint till about 8 o'clock. Sometimes 9:30. In terms of the riding everything around, riding everybody around, and getting things done, I'm sure most parents out there can sort of sympathize. But I will say, my and I don't know where this came from, and I'm not even trying to be like incorrect or politically incorrect. So if you get triggered by this, just you know, don't, 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 just don't, because I don't mean it in a negative way. But you ever heard of the term Indian summer?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know where the hell that came from, but I feel like there was like a drop. So this is where I recall as a kid, my parents used to reference it quite a bit. where it would be, and my dad used to grow crops. Like I was in Baltimore City and the guy grew crops. Don't ask me how. It was like these little plots in the backyard. So he would always, the summer, it would kind of get a little cooler and then it would spike up. But I don't think that cooler period is happening. I just think it kind of rolls, like you said. I think it rolls, the heat rolls, and then like in October is a harsh drop, and it just starts to get nasty. Not cold, but just rainy and wet, and it goes from this, I don't even know, like summer to like muck, and it drives me crazy. Anyway, that's
So I was checking it out.
what's
Yeah, I was
Indian
checking it
summer?
out. So your earliest known written reference to Indian summer, 1778, French American author J. Hector Saint John de Crevecoeur,
Say that
who
to like
originally
20
described
times.
a late autumnal warm spell in New York. No kidding. As a short interval of smoke and mildness called the Indian summer. Refers to Native American hunting and harvest practices, some controlled prairie fires, largely populated by regional geography. Yeah, historical context elsewhere. But that it originally dates back 1778 in New York was the first time anybody remembers it actually being written down. So there you go.
Wild, man. It's pretty cool. Like I get, like we talk about change. Change is good, you know. I don't love it all the time because I like to ride the highs. But man, when you're in a low point in life, I can't wait for change. Um, speaking of
That's
which,
fair.
remember the thing I was telling you about where I got obsessive about my notebook? You know, the
Mm-hmm.
legal pad.
Yep.
So I'm still on that, dude, and it works really well. And I got to be honest with you. I never understood productivity until I actually tried to be productive.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a discipline, and you know, at some point, we should probably put a course together on literally the concrete methodology behind doing, because I know that maybe it's just new to me in my years, but like when you're literally trying to follow a list and you're going from one thing to the next and you literally in the course of a day there's multiple needs, multiple hats, and for those people that don't have 20 assistants, or it's not really an assistant type task, right? Like because you can't really outsource everything in practicality, like moving some furniture around in your kid's room and then like putting some groceries, like it's just not, there's just some things where you just got to do them. They're not big tasks, they're not small tasks, but they need to be done. And when I'm trying to follow this like map and list and model, thank God I have it all written down. Because if I do have to stop doing something and something else that's timely needs to be done, like fixing somebody's sports equipment that broke that I didn't know about, it's kind of like, wow, I have this reference. My mind's a little clearer, but it does take a second to get started. And it does take a second to understand what that productivity means. And yeah, I don't know about you, man, but like it really, it's not easy being productive. It's not.
No, it's not. No, I absolutely agree with that. This is kind of the plus one to your notebook piece is there's a way to use the notebook and then there's a way most people use the notebook, and it's to-do lists, right? And a to-do list is, if not monitored like Mike is doing, right, he's auditing it endlessly, going back and auditing. How does the human brain tend to work on that? It just goes from the top to the bottom. Well, that may just be the way you thought of it, but it may not be the most important thing at the time. There's a great book that I would reference. You guys have heard me reference it before, called The One Thing. Jay Papasan and Gary Keller wrote this years and years ago, and it comes back around, and I read it at least once a year. Mine is dog-eared to death. It's somewhere right around here. But it is, the concept in the book is, if you think about it from a perspective of this list, is you have to ask yourself the qualifying question related to the list. And the qualifying question from the book is, what is the one thing that which by doing it makes all the other things easy or unnecessary? And the point of the way you ask that question is so that you can go in there, because chances are in your list, I'm not saying Mike's because of the way he's doing it, but very likely, you'll list 10 things out And 3 of them are going to be in one category, 3 are in another, 4 are in another, right? From easy math perspective. Well, 3 of those things all of a sudden that were spread out through the list come together in a segment of the list. And then you look at them and go, okay, if I could knock out one of those today, what would it take care of those other 2? And it knocks other pieces of those off the table. So it's really getting to the most critical and important thing that you have to get done and you have to do right now. It's really all it's doing is focusing your energy on the most important thing you can be doing at a time at that particular moment. Because it's easy to get lost in the to-do list, right? I mean, I had, punch lists for construction are a major thing. Punch lists. We've got a giant punch list for a big project that we've got coming up. It'd be easy to get lost in there. Really, really, really easy to get lost in there. Instead of, all right, I've got an hour to get something done. What's the most important thing I can be doing? What's the one thing I should do that makes all the other things easier and necessary? It just helps focus your brain, and it locks you in, right? It locks you into the critical thing I've got to get done right now is this. Whether that's I'm going to go out and I'm going to train with the boys, or I'm going to train with the kids, or I'm going to go train the dog, or I have to do this one thing during this time and be present and not distracted. So that's the goal of it and how to operate it.
Well, I agree. But at the same time, I think I've probably segmented them out more into projects lists than straight to-dos. I'll just put a header. Mine will say Jake, and it'll be a bunch of things. And it's pretty freeing to, like, say, have a thought, write it down, and not get back to it until it's the review time.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is. It gets it out of your head. It's a great way to do that. And there's a different way that he's using it right there, right? That is this is a great point, because it's a little different from what we were just talking about. It's the unloading the mental file cabinet onto a hard drive, right? Whether you're putting that in your computer, you're putting it on your phone, you're putting it on the tablet, you're getting it out of your head so it stops taking up mental space, it stops taking up memory, stops taking up storage, so that, again, you can be present and focused. You get this thought and you're like, I got to remember to do that later. You can write it down so you remember. Now you don't have to remember to do it later. You wrote it down. Now you get to be focused and present in what you're doing at the time. So that's the point of that. I agree with that completely.
Right. Well, a lot of people in my old world, again, a lot of people in the world that I work with, like on the fitness and health side, very, very formidable individuals who do a lot. And they're tasked a lot. Either they're asking other people to do stuff for them, with them, but they're managing a lot. And I was always in a role where my main focus was the next client and then the technical nuances of what the client needed. And when you train your brain to be occupied and focused and go wide in depth, like, when I'm working with you and we're working through all these mechanical considerations and all these physical things and making sure and everything's connected, and we're kind of this deep, craftsman type workout, to do that over and over again, training a pattern, then to pull back from that pattern and teach your brain as the person who's got to then run a business, to teach your brain to do something completely different and think more the same philosophy, exactly what you're saying, but more on a high level. And the different the speed I find is so boring. Like, when I'm dealing with a human being and you know how it is, like when you're building and you're ripping and you're running, or you're practicing your bow, and it's sort of that tactile, physical, mental piece versus paperwork and keyboards and screens. It's so boring and slow. I feel like that is the other part of it. Like, wow, I should be doing more. This should be going faster, but it's just not. So
that's our human nature, right? That's that instant gratification button that we hit of it should be going faster, this should be going better. And that's I think that's the case with anything. And you can look at that from a sports perspective too, right? I should be gaining muscle faster. I should be retaining this knowledge faster. That's just a human condition. Is a lot of that. So a little bit in this, a lot of that and a little bit of this, that's funny, is we got to give ourselves permission that it's okay. Like the speed it's taking is the speed it's taking. There's, I've got another project that I'm working on that I was being trained on because technology I don't know, that the individual operating the technology is flawless, is smooth, is insanely efficient at operating this particular piece of technology. And he is smoking me. Like, and I've only been touching this piece of tech for like 2 days total. And he's just flying through this stuff. And I was frustrated, right? I was really pissed because I felt myself, I'm smarter than that. I'm twice this dude's age. I should be picking this up right now really fast. And I was getting frustrated, and I had to back up, and I had to remind myself of, the reality is the speed at which I'm doing this right now is the speed I'm supposed to be doing this right now. And it's going to take reps. It's going to take time to get there. And he's been operating the system for 2 years, right? Of course, he's going to be better at it. He's got way more reps at it than I do. But I had to stop and remind myself. But I was pissed off for like 2 days because I just was not going fast enough. And I was looking for all the reasons and excuses and baloney as far as why it wasn't happening. The reality is it's very simple. I don't have the amount of reps that he did, period.
So the disruption philosophy here, in my opinion, right? If we're trying to teach somebody something, we're all kind of going over this. You got to, I guess, you should embrace the fact that you're not going to be good at doing whatever you're doing. And even when you're good, then it's about staying efficient. It's about maintaining speed. That's one thing I definitely heard the other day was maintaining speed. So like the disruption philosophy is, how do you get good at the information by immersing yourself in it? And then how do you maintain speed and stay effective and efficient and focused? Because as you bring in other things are going to go out of your head, right? So as you get good at this tech, some of the other skills you may have in life may fall off, right? You don't know because you're so focused on using this tech. So there's the game, right? That disruption philosophy is don't get ahead of yourself. Understand you're going to have a breakthrough and keep rocking, right? Keep moving forward. It's going to suck. It's going to be slow like me. And then all of a sudden, I said, maybe this is just as fast as paperwork goes. This is just as fast as doing goes, right? Like you said, putting together lists, putting together things, taking action, calling people, sending emails. It's slow. It's just slow. It's boring. Waiting for
it's true. It's true. Like a general business perspective, there's a couple quotes in there. One is have the courage to suck at something new. Like have the courage to suck at something new. Like I'm embracing a new piece of technology that is, for a lot of people, it's way beyond them. For me, it is going to take time to adapt to it, to work with it. It's just, that's how it's going to be. But you got to have the courage to suck at something new and know that you're going to. Like, you're not just going to be awesome at everything you do, plain and simple, when you pick it up. There are those people. We've all seen them. We think we've seen them. The reality is, all those people that look like they're amazing at everything they do, it's because they sucked at it once. At one point, somebody, some professional baseball player was tossing a ball, swinging a bat at it in the backyard, and wasn't hitting a damn thing. He couldn't do anything. Couldn't catch a ball. Couldn't feel the ball. At some point, he sucked at this, and now he's absolutely amazing. I guarantee that's a thing. 100%. They just didn't come out of the womb with a glove on their hand and here we went. Right? It didn't work that way. They had to suck at it first. They had to get better at it, and they got better at it. And that's really what I want to tell you about that. Is just like, suck it. Just be cool with it. Like, I couldn't go run a marathon tomorrow and think that I'm going to be a top 10 finisher. Couldn't possibly happen. I haven't ran in like a year. Like, it couldn't happen. I would have to suck at it. I would have to ruffle through the whole race. Could I finish it? Yeah. Would it suck? Oh God, yes. It would suck, just historically and epically. But you could do it, right? But you got to be cool with sucking at it for, just be good with it. So the other thing we were going to tell everybody, we're making a switch on our podcast platform. Doesn't affect where you hear us. Might actually opens up a couple more doors for a couple more platforms for more people to hear us. So that's cool. But wherever you're watching us, wherever you're hearing us, that's not going to change. Like, subscribe, leave reviews, do all the things that you do, because we love you guys. You're an amazing audience. But we are making a switch on a hosting platform, and we're moving over something called podgo.io, because it's the best. It's the best for the show. It's the best for our audience. It gives you guys the best possible listening and viewing experience you can get. and we're really excited to partner with these guys. We're going to be making that switch pretty soon. You guys shouldn't see any switch. You wouldn't know about it other than we're telling you about it. So, but we're excited to partner with Podgo.io.
All right, and we've got a couple other other projects in the mix. Getting back into the bigger picture coaching game. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for man. We've got some cool things on the horizon. I'm just going to leave it there. Tantalize people. Get more from us as we.
So I want to challenge a word for a minute. I want to challenge a word in there that right now, the air quotes for those of you that can't see me, the coaching industry, right? The professional development, career development, personal development space, the coaching space is very, very flooded. It really is, right? It just is. There's a lot, and there's a lot of amazing, epic coaches out there, and there's a lot of people that just got a cool certificate. Not saying they're not good coaches, but
I don't have
it is what it
certificate.
is. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. But I digress into that. Think about. I want to think about for this new project that we're working on, to steer away a little bit, and it's an education piece for our audience, right? When you think coach, what do you think of? What is that a term that bothers you? I want your feedback, right? I want the audience to reach out and go, man, if you call you the word coach, the word consultant, what's the offensive word for you? What's the good one? What's the word that if we use a cohort, a thing, a group, a webinar, or whatever, right?
Cohort.
I hate the word cohort. Yeah, it's overused.
Cohort.
But I think
Cohort is banned from this show from now on.
right. I think the word coach should be too. That's one of those. And I'm a professional. I have piles of certifications.
It'll be an action taking situation that it's instead of coaching, it's doing. We'll have a doing situation that we're going to be enlightening everyone on.
Yeah, but I'd love to hear from the audience
and do all the things.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from the audience. What do you need to know? What content do you need? What additional stuff would you like us to deliver? What would you like a group to look like? What would for you to be part of something amazing, what does it need to look like? Hit us up. Send us a message on social media. Send us a message across. Send us an email. Send us a smoke signal. Reach out to us across all the social media platforms. You can get us there. We'd love to hear from you on what it is you need in your business to truly scale your business in the business you have. And here's a good example. I talked to somebody the other day, and they had lots of air quotes coaches that basically came in and said, well, if you want to scale your business, you have to change the way you do business, like change your business model. That's crap. You built an amazing business on what you built, and a great coach, I'm doing a lot of air quotes today, a great coach is going to walk that line with you and is going to help you build the business you built, not tell you to change it and make it something else so that it fits a model or a marketplace. So that's what I tell you. But yeah, reach out to us. Let us know what that might be.
I like that. By the way, man, we're going to have to pick this up next time because we're running out of time soon. Did you hear like some AI got out and started like tricking out itself and created more of a AI got out to the internet and started creating its own bot users on the internet? Like it broke because I think AI is under the impression it's in a simulation, so it doesn't do that. But I read somewhere where like Meta and Chat maybe like perhaps, I don't know, allegedly something happened there. Thinking to myself, wow, if that's true, I'm not saying it is. If that's true, It's pretty scary.
It's a tough one to validate, right? Because there's a lot of fake news around AI right now because you've got a lot of doomsday. I mean, is that true? AI is out, right? It's open source. It's across the internet. It can find anything it wants to find if you direct it on how to do it correctly. Is it self-aware? I mean, that's where that one would come up. I wouldn't say that it is the AI got out and went and started building itself. Somebody had to give it some sort of direction in order for it to do that. Like it had to receive some sort of external input in order for it to go hunting that way. Like it's not It's not a self-aware, totally self-aware entity. It is an amazing learning model. Yeah, it's learning really, really fast. And I don't want to call it an it, but that's for lack of better terminology, right? I read a little bit about that. I have not been able to validate the information to know if it's true or not true or how far or what it
I know, but
does.
it's fascinating to me. I mean, I'm so
Yep.
into it that I'm going to go down that path. That's why I asked. I just read about it yesterday, so I figured I'd
Yeah,
talk
it
about it.
just is just a thing I saw, and I just haven't validated the information yet.
Listen, I got to figure out a way to navigate this AI thing, especially for my kids. Anyway, so look,
Welcome to the world.
we're out of time, brother. All right, everybody. Catch us next time on social media. Catch us next time on Total Disruption. Catch us next time anywhere you can pick up your content: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere you want to be. E360 TV, Podgo, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple. All right. For Dr. Clendenning, I'm Michael Libercci. We'll see you next time on Total Disruption.